There's a special feeling remembering a game you loved as a kid, but when you play it now, it feels different. The music is different, the UI feels weird, something just feels off. Turns out, you aren't crazy, you just spent dozens of hours playing a demo disc. Before digital storefronts, demo discs were all we had to see new games, filled with early builds or cut content that never made it into the final game. Final Fantasy was no exception. Today we're going to take a look at the various demos the series had to offer, from Aerith and the bombing mission to the lost music of the Dalek invasion. These are the Final Fantasy demos. The PS1 specifically had many demos, everything from trailers to fully playable different builds of the game. The community breaks these playable versions down into two main versions. There is the Aerith demo and the Tifa demo, named for who is in your party during it. So let's start with the Aerith demo. This is the earliest FF7 demo, released in 1996 as a bonus disc with Tobal number 1. First thing, this demo has one of my favorite renditions of the Prelude theme. This song absolutely rocks. When you boot it up, the intro starts, but instead of like the floating in space sequence, you have text featuring the Shinra and Makaro. You can tell the translations are still rough, with lines like Big saying, "Not every day you find an ex-soldier in an anti-Shinra group like the Avalanche." So what's actually different? Right off the bat, you'll notice the music just feels off. There are some subtle visual changes, like the portrait for young Cloud being used for his victory screen. As for gameplay, well, there's a lot. Aerith is in your party for the bombing mission. She also has Leviathan, which just like deletes every enemy in the demo. It's hilarious. You can't open the menu at all, and you can't level up. No, believe me, I tried. I ran around for way longer than I should have, fighting every enemy I could to try and see what happens when you level. But there's actually a set amount of enemies they let you fight in the demo, probably for that exact reason. The events leading up to the bomb play out the same, though there is no guard scorpion. Guess he wasn't ready yet, so a sweeper will have to do. On the escape, you have 3 minutes to get out, but the battles don't count towards the timer, though you have to rescue both Jesse and Biggs. I didn't realize that the first time, and I almost failed the first time while recording. Beating the demo gives you this sick mission complete screen with "coming in December." I was curious what happens if you run out of time, and well, it's not too exciting. You blow up, die, and the same ending plays out. Now, the Tifa demo, this is much more like the final game. The intro plays out exactly how it normally does and sounds much more like it should. Also, we can level up. Cloud levels to level 7 in the first fight. You have access to a ton of spells and summons like Ifrit, Titan, and Neo Bahamut. Good God, these poor Shinra soldiers. Everything else in the reactor plays out as expected. Guard Scorpion is here, but he doesn't really pose much of a challenge. They're very easy. It's very hard to die in these demos. When you complete it, you get this sick Comic Sans looking screen telling you when the game will come out. Though funny enough, if you don't make it in time, you get the game over screen and you don't get to know when the game releases. Now, let's talk about Final Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy VIII is actually the demo that inspired this whole video. I replayed it recently and couldn't believe how different it was compared to the final game. This demo was released in North America in two ways. There was a bonus disc that was included with Brave Fencer Musashi or Pizza Hut Demo Disc 1. So right off the bat, we get a little summary like the first FF7 demo. And we're off to begin the Final Fantasy VIII trial version. As you gain control, you'll notice a lot of differences. The characters are in their normal outfits. Renoa is here. She actually takes the place of Cypher or Selphie in your party. And then there's the music. This track is called Raid on Dalit, and it's actually completely missing from the final game. It was replaced by The Landing, and I'm not really sure which one I prefer. They're both pretty amazing. Gameplay wise, the Dalit mission is pretty much the same. There are a few events that don't play, like Cypher telling you to save the experience for him, or Selphie on the cliffside. But unlike the FF7 demos we looked at, this demo is hard. Not being able to level or use the menu or customize your characters makes surviving very difficult. Squall's limit break in this version is called Sea Sword, and it has this really funky looking interface. Zell's limit break isn't even a combo input yet. He just does Meteo Barret for a lot of damage. And sadly, Renoa doesn't have a limit break. I wanted to launch Angelo Cannon, but she does have Leviathan as a summon, however. Now, let's fast forward a bit and take a look at the FMV cutscene at the end of the mission. Because Renoa actually does take Selphie's place, even in this pre-rendered cutscene, along with Quistis being replaced by a random soldier. Though, funny enough, if you look at this scene in the final version of the game, you can actually still see Renoa's model here. No way they expected people to slow it down and notice that. Completing the demo just gets you this little cutoff with the date December 1999 and demo end. Naturally, you know I had to see what happens when you die. I totally didn't just die on accident recording footage. Not me, no way. But you don't get a date or anything. You just get this screen that says their story began that morning, but actually it has been continuing since the beginning of time. Neat. A small little side note, there was actually a trailer for FF8 released on a disc that was included with Parasite Eve, which shows possibly an even earlier build of the game. It has this like really weird looking UI for the battles. I'm not sure if there was like a playable demo with this in Japan or something, but there are just so many things to see and find in this demo of the game. It's very cool. All right, are you ready for some peak early 2000s aesthetic? Because check out this sick menu for Final Fantasy X. It looks like those old coming soon to theaters screens.
Coming soon to theaters.
I love it. The FF10 demo was released on a little compilation demo disc included in the official PlayStation magazine. And I love the art on these demo discs. They're just so amazing. Anyways, the FF10 demo gives you two options. You can go to Zanarkand and Besaid. So let's check out the Zanarkand first. Zanarkand opens right away with the infamous intro Blitzball FMV. This demo is complete. Its only goal is to impress you. The only restriction here really is the usual no menuing, and the save sphere just restores your HP and MP. So you just play through the events of Zanarkand, and the demo ends when you get sucked into Sin and you're met with this screen. It's beautiful. Although we haven't mastered the art of looping back to the start of the demo. If you want to try Besaid, it's time to hard reset the system. The Besaid demo has a little more abrupt start than the Zanarkand one. You're just dumped onto the screen where you fight Kimahri. Good luck. Afterwards, you run along the waterfall path, hitting all the usual tutorial fights along the way. Interestingly, you can still pick up all the normal items that would be there, including the moon crest, which I thought was interesting. This demo ends when you board the boat at the beach and you get the same ending screen. It honestly ends way too fast, I feel like. Compared to the earlier demos we looked at, this is just like a perfect slice of the finished game. Nothing really experimental here. But that leads us now into its sequel, Final Fantasy X-2. The demo disc for Final Fantasy X-2 was also released in the official PlayStation magazine, and in my opinion, has even better art than the last one somehow. Just like the FF10 demo, it's broken up into two scenarios. You have Going Swoop into Action and Operation Infiltrate Babel. And just like FF10, they are very complete versions of the game. Though they do give you access to some crazy high tier spells in the Gagazette demo, allowing you just to destroy things easily. And the Babel demo, you're just so over leveled that everything is a breeze. I guess that makes sense because they probably didn't want to overwhelm people with trying to master the new battle system on just a demo, being how much of a deviation it was from Final Fantasy X. Beating the demo, either one gives you this awesome mission complete screen. We still haven't mastered the art of auto resetting the demo between scenarios though, sadly. So the last demo disc I want to talk about is Final Fantasy XII. Honestly, I didn't even know there was a playable demo for Final Fantasy XII. It was included along with Dragon Quest VIII on the PS2. The demo opens with a small intro trailer, which has some English voiceovers, but the characters' voices are still in Japanese. Just like the previous demos, this one is broken up into two scenarios. Fawn Coast, for thinking players, and the Still Shrine of Miriam, for thrill seekers. Bro, you think I'm a thinker? Let's start with the Still Shrine. The Still Shrine demo is pretty straightforward. You have to find and kill an Adamantoise. He'll drop you the Dragon Key, and then you take that down to the bottom and you fight the boss, the Ringworm. The game is played in active mode with Ash, Balthier, and Fran in your party. And you can't access the menu to customize your characters or gambits. You do have some pretty powerful spells, and Ash can summon Belias, which cuts the music when you summon him, and he has the loudest, crunchiest sound ever. It cracks me up every time. Beating the demo gives you a stage complete with the victory fanfare, and then another small trailer with the final words being coming 2006. Though get this, the demo resets now. Ugh, they grow up so fast. Finally, let's check out the Fawn Coast demo, which was actually the first demo that was seen for the game, playable at E3 2004. You play in wait mode with Vaughn, Pinello, and Bosch in your party, and your objective is to defeat the Rock Eater enemy. You can make a Rock Eater spawn by slaying 3 Sleipnirs around the map. Yet again, you have access to some pretty nice spells, and Vaughn can summon Hashmal in this one, who also makes the silly, loud, crunchy sound. Beating it gives you the same scene as the other demo. It's just really neat how this one made the two demos feel like two different experiences of the same game. I found it really fun to play. Demo discs feel like a lost art. Digital demos still exist, but they're usually just slices of the finished game. We don't really get these snapshots of development anymore. They're like a piece of history. And with game preservation being more important now than ever, I think it's worth remembering and revisiting these moments in time. Let me know your favorite demo disc memories in the comments below. And until the next video, take care, everyone.